Our language work at the State Library of Queensland is basically guided by our languages strategy, and that's been in place since 2007, so it's twofold. We look at bringing community into our State Library down in Brisbane, going through the collections there, and then the other side of it is actually going out to the communities and running community workshops.
You can do the video and you can edit it.
We try to link in as much as possible with local organisations, language centres. While State Library has some amazing materials in their collection, it's important that the community is developed and has that capacity to manage their own language revival as well. So one of the aims of the language toolkit is that it engages the community, gives them some ideas about recording, documenting language, some tools that they can use, but more importantly, how to share that knowledge again with a wider audience, whether it be within their own language community, their own community groups, or whether it's with a broader audience across Queensland or even Australia, using the wonders of the World Wide Web.
I suppose one of the biggest issues that arises out of doing language retrieval and maintenance of Aboriginal languages is, well, how do you get that out into the wider community? We contacted national parks and gave them our ideas about what we wanted to do on country. For instance, we named one of the walks Googie Googie. Now, Googie Googie in Warragamay language means butterfly, but we felt that if people were coming to our country and they wanted to have some sort of experience with the traditional owners, that it would be a benefit that, you know, they see some language around them. But it's certainly empowered Warragamay people. We are just happy to have it being recognised rather than it sitting on a shelf somewhere.
If people were starting out into the research world, into researching language or the culture, you can start with the elders and get your oral history. That's very important. But in starting out and researching documents and recordings, just your local library, museums, go to historical societies. Norman Tyndall's collection is based in South Australian Museum. Just email and inquire, and they have a list of all his collection there. What I did with IATSIS is instead of me going down to IATSIS and going through the whole library, what I did was go online, search through, and so I was able to access documents. They were able to send them to me, and I was also able to access the audio-visual unit as well.
There are 3 words that have to be taken account of when you want to do anything in a community. The first one is reality, the second one is motivation, and the third one is accountability. With reality, you've got to talk with people and try to get them to come to some kind of a understanding of the state the language is in, and repercussions of not doing anything about it. Motivation, who's got the passion to get in and make things happen, to produce some kind of format that can be passed on to the younger generation. And of course the last one, if you take on the object of handling community knowledge, you're accountable. When the resources are produced, that they're handled properly and put in a proper place so that people can access it. So a lot of resources just disappear and are not available to the ordinary people.
There's a number of language revival projects that have started with just, I guess, a group of people sitting around a table saying, what are we going to do about our language, and how do we keep our language strong? So it's just making that first step to be involved, I think.